Hi, I'm Captain Reverend Zach now.
And I'm Lieutenant Francis.
And welcome to This Movie Was a Hot Dog, a podcast where me and my brother watch a bad movie, critically, financially, or otherwise, then we review it, break it down, and tell you what we think. And we try to be consistent as often as we can with hitting the critically, financially, or otherwise in terms of badness. This one was all three of those things. Nobody liked it.
It's probably one of the first movies in a while I fell asleep to.
And, we'll get into it, but it really it really walks that line of being like, is this a bad movie or is it just so boring you can't be bothered to really, make an opinion other than that?
And I want to say I actually have played all 5 of the Wing Commander games, so I'm familiar with the Wing Commander.
So you're an expert.
No, I'm familiar with the Wing Commander unit. I haven't played them in 20 years. But
well, that's why we had you on for the wrestling one, where we watched a wrestling movie. We had you on for the comic book one. You're the nerd guy who can fill in all the gaps here.
And those games are awesome. They have, Luke Skywalker plays the main character, or Mark Hamill.
Well, that's not his real name.
Mark Hamill. I'm sorry. Well, to everyone, he's Luke Skywalker. The Joker played the main character. No, just kidding. But yes, and this movie is so far away from the video game series that I dare to say it might be worse than the Mario Brothers movie. That's for a different time, though.
Wait, I didn't even say what the hell we're talking about yet.
Oh, yeah. We're just talking about this movie, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
Right. Hopefully, if anybody listened to it, which from our numbers is nobody, actually read what it said and they didn't just go into it blindly. But anyway, we watched 1999's Wing Commander, starring Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard, and Saffron Burrows.
Whoever those are.
They're the 3 main characters to the actors.
But I don't really know those actors that well.
Well, they've had a pretty big career. They've been in a lot of movies, all 3 of them.
Okay.
Well, so in a nutshell, in a sentence, it's a space fighter movie. It's Top Gun in space. It's set in the year 2654, yet nothing about human culture or society has changed at all.
Except that we can fly in space in spaceships.
And other than that, and the spaceships aren't even, futuristic. They're like biplanes in space.
Well, wait, hold on. I shouldn't say we do fly ships in space, but, fighting, having dog fighting battles and stuff like that.
But these aren't even, I hate to start now because I fear I won't be able to stop making Star Wars analogies.
Okay, go ahead.
But in Star Wars, the spaceships are ooh, cool designs and weird, and they look different. These are just planes. They're just airplanes in space.
And they shoot machine guns somehow.
Right! It's just a machine gun. In 2654, it's 600 years in the future, we still haven't figured out how to do something other than bullets.
But don't work in space, really.
Yeah, at all.
Yeah.
So you've played the games.
Yes.
Did anything in this movie look like the games at all?
Well, I can give a little backdrop, which would help me explain that. So basically, in a nutshell, most of the Wing Commander series is about the Federation, or in whoever they are in this movie.
They're the Federation. The Federation is fighting
the Kilrathi.
And the dumbest name for an alien.
Yeah, and the Kilrathi are a cat-like race, is the best way I can put it down. And this movie does a horrible job of portraying them. They're
still cats. You put it best right before we started recording, where you're like, yeah, and they're cat people that are also lizards sometimes.
All right, and so it's this big war, and actually the first 3 games of the series are all about the war between Earth and Kilra. And then Earth wins the battle, actually, in the video games. Spoiler alert, 1, 2, 3. Okay, at the end, Blair...
Spoiler alert for this 25-year-old, Sega CD video game?
PlayStation 1.
Was it? I thought this was a Sega CD
I actually
game.
own, and the first 2 are on PC. Anyways, I have the third and the fourth game on PlayStation 1. But beside the point, in the third one, somehow they think it's a good idea. The Earth Federation decide that they end up blowing up Kill-Ra and wiping out the entire race.
Well, this has nothing to do with the movie we're talking
But
about.
I'm just giving a backdrop for what the game is.
Well, it doesn't. That has nothing to do with the movie, though.
Right. So let's. But between the two, they have a couple of the characters, but the characters don't act anything like they do in the game.
So from 5 minutes ago when I asked you if this is anything like the video game, the short answer is no.
Well, you know when nerds get on their little, we can't help ourselves. So
instead of answering your question, let me just explain. Let's talk about something I like.
Oh, cool. 8 minutes in, and we have not talked about the movie yet, really.
That's entirely your fault.
Well, it's how I do it. I like to, when I get on my little video game comic book nerdy kick, which.
Okay, so no.
No, yeah, but basically, the idea is the same, but how they implement it is completely different.
Okay. Whew.
All right, now that we got past that, shall we go into the movie?
Yes,
okay.
Please.
So we start off, and we're on a human Federation base, and
on an asteroid,
right? And then there's a guy that's supposed to be standing watch, and somehow he's just like, I'm not going to be on watch, and he gets up from his monitor. Which, first of all, that's a big court-martialable offense.
In wartime,
yeah, wartime offense. He's like, we don't need to know if we're getting attacked. And of course, you know what happens when he stands away from his post. The Kilrathi attack and are after some controller device, which actually I never really understand why they need it.
In the beginning, they were making it sound like it was an experimental artificial intelligence, but then by the end of it, it was just like a space GPS.
It looks like a speak and spell.
It doesn't look like a speak and spell. It looks like a car battery.
Okay, I guess you're right.
You might be thinking of some other weird futuristic bullshit in this movie.
Here we go. All right, so
But the thing they're after just is a black box that's about the size of a car battery. Yeah. This thing is the MacGuffin of the movie. This is what drives the movie, and it's so ill-defined. What it is, what it does. In the beginning of the movie, it's super important that they find this. Then 30 minutes later, everybody's forgotten about it, and then Freddie Prinze Jr. basically trips over it in the third act.
Yeah, and then even then it's like, I guess it's important.
Yeah, it's so bizarre, because the whole opening scene is about this little black box that is meant to be if they get this, this is it. And then they get it, and then it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah, no one's we need to get a tracker on that thing. Where did it go? What mothership picked that up? No one knows. Also,
I have a question for you. So the Kilrathi... Yep. Did they name them before or after they found out they were evil? Did they wait until they were
No, in the games, in the first game, no, the Kilrathi, they're from the planet Kill-Ra.
Oh, yeah. So they know that they kill things.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. They're an aggressive cat species.
They are an aggressive cat
That's the best way I can put it. In the game, you know what they look like?
They look like anthropomorphic tigers.
Yeah, well, they look like the people you see at amusement parks that dress up in the super huge costumes.
Oh, wow, that's horrible.
Yeah.
So they look like furries.
Yeah, kind of.
So the Kilrathi attack this human base on the asteroid field, and as I don't know if you noticed this, when all their ships are coming and bombing them, there's an air raid siren going off, and I'm like, is that outside? Who's that for?
We know we're getting attacked. And I love the one guy's he's got this headset on that looks like it's from I don't know, a Commodore 64 headset. And he's like, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. I'm like, that thing doesn't work anymore. It's 2652 here.
And also they're in the middle of space. Who is it? You're dead.
Yeah. Yeah, Mayday, Mayday. Yeah, everyone's 5,000 light years away, buddy.
Yeah, what? You're dead. Who are you calling for help for? The Kilrathi are then they invade the thing because they're after the car battery, and they launch the car battery into space.
Yes.
So
did they really?
Yeah. Remember that guy hits that big red button and a rocket goes up?
Oh yeah.
And launches it into space, even though they end up with it later.
Yeah, that's not really discussed.
They don't explain how. So before, because they're gonna like, oh no, the Kilrathi are coming, we're gonna blow it up, and they try to blow it up and they can't, so they launch it into space. But before they do that, the captain or the commanding officer or whatever is trying to break through the glass to destroy it manually.
Plexiglass.
Right. So he starts shooting a machine gun at it. It's
Where's the laser
2654.
gun?
We have space fighters, intergalactic travel, and artificial intelligence. We still use bullets and machine guns. Like you said, where's the goddamn laser gun?
and plexiglass, really? Where's the force fields?
Right, and they have them later.
Yep, they do. Yeah, just to block off like the airlock, like if there's like a hull breach or something like that.
Right, and it's like the complete lack of laser guns upset me. Even the fucking cat people use bullets.
Yeah, like how did they? Were they like, you know what? We're gonna use their type of ammunition. Can we do some research on that?
All we do as a society is actively try to create new weapons to kill people. And you're telling me in 600 years we were like, nope, the bullet was it.
I don't get this movie.
Christ, we have lasers now.
So past that, I don't remember a lot of the movie.
So I'll talk you through it, and you can jump in anytime
I'll remember,
you want.
of course, as you're going. You know.
I'll also let you know straight up, like, this movie is boring. Like, there's, like, nothing happening.
There is a lot of talking.
There's, like, I checked, it's 35 minutes before we do anything with fighting in space.
After the first scene.
Which it doesn't, like, that's not even fighting in space. Bombers fly over, drop a couple of bombs. That's 30 seconds. Then 35 minutes later, we finally, in a movie called Wing Commander, are not fighting in space with goddamn fighter jets.
But anyways, let's go. So then we break to this. So we break to, what is it, like a freighter pilot or something?
Yeah, like a little freighter.
Oh, I'm Han Solo, kind of.
Not even really. So it's some French guy. Here's what I don't get. So the French guy's a civilian, but he's got 2 Navy lieutenants working for him on his little frigate.
Maybe he's like a contractor? I don't...
Why is he in charge?
Maybe he's a retired guy and got hired back by the government. I don't know. So
they're working on this little frigate, and some admiral's like, "Oh, the car battery is in the hands of the Kilrathi. Freddie Prinze Jr., we need you to travel here and deliver this message to this ship, even though I'm calling you on the space phone, and I could like call that other ship on the space phone."
Oh wait, and then because the Kilrathi are headed towards Earth. That's the whole driving thing, right?
Right, I understand. Right, because they got the car battery somehow, and now they know where Earth is.
Car battery.
That's what it looks like.
Oh dear.
So they got the car battery, so now they know where Earth is, and he's like, "Freddie Prinze Jr., I need you to deliver a message to this battle cruiser that might be able to like intercept and stop."
Oh yeah,
them.
And I knew your father.
And I knew your father. And, well, we'll get into his family history.
I can't wait to get into the Pilgrim thing.
Yeah, but the thing that I don't understand is like he called Freddie Prinze Jr. to go do this because he found out from a radio signal that the Kilrathi have the car battery. Why can't he just call the other ship?
I think there was an explanation about like they were too far or something. I don't know what the range on the space phone is.
So the more efficient way is to send Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard in a tin can through a black hole?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, so then they just get in their little rocket ship and go through a black hole, and they're like, "Oh, we're there now. We are now."
Well, there's
here.
a whole scene that's supposed to be like exciting through that.
Oh yeah, because they're not sure if they're gonna make it, and it's like, "Oh, do you think the 2 main characters are gonna die in the first 10 minutes?"
What they do is they say, "Oh." The captain's like, "Well, you were a pilgrim, so you can navigate this." And we're like, what does that mean?
The pilgrim thing, how do you want to tackle that? Do you want to go as the movie?
No, let's just do it now.
Or do you just want to go through
Let's just go through it. From what I get, it's like a group of people that have like the Force, sort of.
Not even,
they can just navigate or something. But anyways, no one likes them for some reason.
No, so they keep bringing up for like half the movie that Freddie Prinze Jr. is half pilgrim, but nobody like explains
Like,
what that
you're
is.
like, so you're a human still? So what is that half pilgrim? Like, how do you get that?
But then the one guy goes to him like, the Pilgrims were I don't know why I'm doing. He's a French guy. I'm doing a terrible Indian accent. He goes, the Pilgrims were this group of people who were the first people to explore the universe, and they all died out. And once they died, we didn't discover anything else. And I'm like, so they were just people who went exploring.
They're good navigators.
So can't more people just explore, and then like they're not a race of people?
Train pilgrims, or is it natural? I mean, they don't explain any of it. And then why no one likes them, I don't understand.
But they talk about it as if they are like a different race. Like they sort of like they have like a racist sort of connotation when they're like, "Oh, you're a pilgrim." Like they talk about it like how dumb people talk about black people or something. They're like, "Oh, filthy pilgrim." But I'm like, but they're just people though. Like what? Like
There's
why?
and it's not like did they kill a bunch of people? I don't get it.
Well, they did. They say that. You probably fell asleep.
Probably when
I
was out.
Yeah, but so Freddie Prinze Jr. is half pilgrim, and basically what the pilgrims can do is they can navigate without a computer, but like they still use them or something. Like it's really ill-defined, and it's really
Luke, you turned off your targeting computer. What's wrong?
Basically, but dumber than that.
Yeah.
So they go at this point. I had told you about this. So at this point, when they're going through the black hole, I was really worried because there was a bombing scene, and now there's this space like jumping through a black hole, and I was like, this movie might be okay.
Yeah. At the beginning, and then after that, they get on board this ship. And that's when nothing happens.
You're exactly right. There's this big burst of action. We got to get to this command ship. They get there, and then we all take a nap.
Hey, look, we're in the mess hall. Hey, everybody. Let's have a kind of a fight scene because I said a few things. And
I'm new to this ship, and you're from here. Therefore, we have differences. Arr. And then they're like, I don't like you because you're new.
Oh, no,
and you're
my wing commander is a female. That's weird.
In 2654, it's still weird that a woman's in charge.
I'm gonna sit in this antique starfighter that's for some dead guy and think I'm not gonna get in trouble.
It's just
the whole.
they're like,
there's nothing to say, and then like the maniac guy likes another girl there.
Oh, well, you're jumping way far.
Oh wait,
ahead.
am I? See, I get my whole timeline's jumbled here. Wait, what happened in between? Nothing happened in between. I'm more than welcome to jump ahead.
Well, there's some stuff we got. It's a little.
We could make this a 30-minute show at this point.
We could.
I already got my pick for what you should watch instead.
One of the things that I thought was funny though, when they report, it's again, in case nobody caught it yet, it's the year 2654, and when you report to your new naval ship, you still get issued paper orders.
Yeah, it's not you don't get them emailed to you.
You don't get them emailed or like a microchip. He just holds up like a tri-folded piece of paper, and I'm like, oh, like we have now.
Yeah. Oh well.
We still use paper and bullets, huh? Is Earth making all the paper and all the bullets?
Oh, it's a war effort with the Kilrathi. We had to burn down all our computers and stuff.
We had to burn down all our computers.
Melt them down into something, the bullets. I don't know.
Clearly, because we're still making bullets.
Oh, how the heck is... Yeah, this is outstanding. This movie.
Yeah, so they get their paper orders. Let me see what my notes say. So they go to the ship's club or something to meet people. Yeah, and you mentioned it before. So Freddie Prinze Jr. has been on this brand new ship for, 10 minutes. The first thing he does is hop into a spaceship that's not his and start talking down to a woman who turns out to be a higher rank than he is. Just be like, you don't do that.
You just got here, buddy. You can't do that crap.
You don't know anybody's name. You don't know anybody's anything.
That's a good way to get hated. That's for sure.
Yeah, just start acting like you own the place as soon as you get there.
You're a freaking lieutenant. You're a naval lieutenant. That means nothing. You're nobody. Especially when everyone on the ship is an officer.
Right. Okay. This bugged you. Why don't you get into
Which
that?
part?
The naval, the officer.
Yeah. First off, where are the enlisted people on this ship? Nowhere.
It's nowhere.
The maintenance guy, the janitor, and the people that do the repairs are all officers.
All of the maintenance people are lieutenants. naval
Or
lieutenants,
ensign.
which is a captain in every other rank. Not everybody knows naval ranks because they're all funky.
They're in 03.
Right, they're O3s. All those people are working on the shit. There's not an E2 cleaning up a bucket of shit or anything.
Yep. Yeah. The whole thing just doesn't make any. And the uniforms that you and I talked about earlier.
It's like it looks like they're in an old Russian submarine.
Why is this a paper mache shirt?
Everybody's got like wool watch caps on and like these really thin blue sweaters that like hang
paper thin.
Yeah, but they also like hang off their shoulders like it's flash dance.
It's like it's a fashion thing. They're going out to the club or something. And
it's like, all right, we're making our naval uniforms. What's the standard top going to be? Sweater, and only make them an extra large. Like, nobody's sweater fits. Nobody's got a sweater that fits them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so there's that. And then I think they go out on a mission to find something somewhere.
The first mission is like 5 minutes. They go out and they're like, oh, there's an alien, and they're like, oh no, and then they like shoot 2 missiles and go back. And that was the first time.
Yeah, and the guy showboats, right? One of the guys or the gal, I don't know. Somebody showboats.
I don't even.
I think one of them showboats a landing, and if you do that again, you're in trouble or whatever.
I'll read you the note I have for around this point in the movie. 30 minutes in, and this movie has no plot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it started off with a plot, and then they just abandoned it.
Right, so we know in the beginning, like we said, they get the car battery and blah, blah, blah. At this point, it's not even like we need to get that car battery back and stop them from getting to Earth. Now it just sort of becomes like we're just fighting the war.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, there they are. Okay, sneak around. Now we got a something, and blah, blah, blah. And, oh no, all of this, I don't even remember how we got to this. All of a sudden, we got to jump through a black hole.
Yeah, that's right.
We gotta jump through another black hole.
And the freighter pilot is like, follow my directions, and the captain's like, I think I'll listen to you. I'm sorry, I wouldn't have listened to him.
Well, Jurgen Prochnow, who is the German guy who sort of looks like an older Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's just like, he's basically like an old racist.
Oh yeah, he's like, you pilgrim.
You pilgrims? I don't trust any of you, you half-pilgrim.
Get off my ship.
But I sort of get it. Like, okay, so he hates the guy who's a half-pilgrim, whatever. That's a stupid thing. But when the captain of the small frigate is like, I am going to take control of your navigational computer and navigate us through the black hole. And the captain's like, okay, whatever. But his second in command is like, whoa, wait a second.
You can't just give a naval vessel over to some weirdo that we don't even know.
I'm completely behind him for that. He's like,
yeah, exactly. Even though they would have died.
Yeah, right. He turned out to be right. And they all would have died regardless. But still, if if you were in a battleship today, or like a friggin' aircraft carrier, and some tugboat captain was like,
hey, I think you're going to hit a reef. Let me take control of your ship.
Yeah, let me steer this entire thing that's the size of New York City for you.
Exactly. I think. And they're like, okay.
Everybody in that ship would be fired that night.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah. And and of course, today, the captain would never go, okay. Like, that sounds like a reasonable idea.
And he doesn't even have any sort of, like, internal, like, oh, I don't know, should I listen to my second in command or this weird French guy who lives in space?
Yeah, he's just like, all right, we'll just do it.
It's 2654, and somehow we still have the French accent survived.
Yeah. Oh, can we just jump ahead a little bit?
We've already jumped ahead quite a bit.
So basically, then Maniac gets a thing for this gal on the ship.
I don't know. Is that as specific as you can get?
One of the other fighter pilots, I guess.
He gets a thing for this gal.
Yeah, like he likes her a lot. And of course, you know what's going to happen after this.
Oh! He falls in love with another lady on the ship. I thought you meant he gets a thing, like he goes to the store.
Yeah, buys some roses.
He buys her a thing.
And you're like, I missed that part of the movie.
Yeah, it was like, what thing is he talking about? He gets her a thing?
But anyways, yeah, so he likes her, and then when they start getting close, you're like, well, I know what's going to happen now.
Of course, she's gonna die, and I just fast forwarded through. You know what? You know how this is a sign of a terrible movie? It's a movie that's set in space, and it's supposed to be about space fighter jets. Every time they go into space to fight, I fast forwarded through it.
Jeez.
Because, I mean, like, talk about this being based off a video game. Anytime they go out in the space, it looks like a video game.
Yep.
But without any of the fun of playing a video game.
Here's the thing. I don't know if anyone else knows this, but the person that directed the film and wrote it, it was the person that wrote the game. So that might have contributed to that.
But how could he I would understand if you told me that, and this was a 2-hour movie, 90 minutes of which was just space
fighting. And it's not. It's the opposite. It's the other way around. It's 100 minutes long, and like 20 minutes of it are space fighting, and the rest is, I don't know, we're all falling in love, and then the cat people are talking, and they got fucking alien subtitles, so we don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but we gotta hear their whole goddamn conversation. Whatever that is.
Geez. And then, like, Freddie Prinze Jr. is part of, like, a weird religion that's never explained.
And he's got a medallion, who cares?
And he's got a medallion that, in the very beginning, extends like a knife.
But never,
But did you see that?
Yeah.
In the beginning, he's got, like, this weird cross, and he goes, like, flint, chink, and, like, a knife comes out of it, and then that's never used again, or mentioned when it happens.
Yeah.
Okay, where we got? The video game, it looks bad. I can't follow what the hell is going on. That's a note I have.
And then Maniac's girlfriend dies.
They go for a mission or whatever, and the major ship is under attack. There's a space battle. Freddie Prinze Jr. almost gets sucked out of an airlock.
They make that an action scene just to...
and so they do this.
And they just use, a piece of metal to seal it.
Yeah, basically with it. But here's the thing. I don't know if you, like, did this bother you too? So Freddie Prinze Jr. is getting sucked out of this, like, there's a breach of the hull, and he's holding on to a pipe, because the human hand has the ability to withstand the entire vacuum of space. No. Nobody else in the room is getting sucked out.
Right, and then they run forward with something like it's okay.
Everybody else is literally standing in a circle around him.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
While he's getting sucked. How did nobody go, what? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Everybody in that room should be flying around. Why is Freddie Prinze Jr. the only one being affected by gravity? So this actually, like, I went like, ooh, when they did this. So Matthew Lillard goes to save Freddie Prinze Jr. by, like, tying like steel cable around his waist. Mm-hmm. And in the process of saving Freddie Prinze Jr., like, basically gets cut in half. Yeah. But don't worry, because 5 minutes later, he's okay.
Yes.
Even though he was bleeding out of his mouth. If like the center of your body gets
crushed,
cinched, by metal cable, and blood is coming out of your mouth.
Severe internal injuries.
1, you're gonna die.
Usually.
2, if you're not gonna die, you're not doing anything but eating soup for like 2 years. He's bleeding and he almost gets cut in half, and he's like, I'm gonna go fly this mission. Let me go just, like, change my shirt.
Must be with some of that pilgrim magic he healed him with.
But he wasn't a pilgrim.
No, the other guy.
Freddie Prinze Jr. must get sucked outside. Like, we're basically, like, man, we are flying through this movie. We're a half an hour in. We're basically done talking about it.
That's fine. Short episode. Gee.
There's this part where Freddie Prinze Jr. goes to talk to the French frigate captain, and he's like, everybody hates me because I'm a pilgrim. I don't get it. Who are the pilgrims? Freddie Prinze Jr. is like 30 years old in this movie. He has been going his whole life being accused of and insulted for being a pilgrim, and he never asked anybody who they were, ever?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like,
that would be like being like, somehow you're like in a Nazi family today, and I don't understand why everyone hates me.
Well, 45-year-old man, let me explain to you what the Nazis are.
Yeah,
like that.
Exactly.
And then you explain to the man what the Nazis are, and he's just like, oh. Like, that's his reaction.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay, well, that's, I guess that's the thing then.
basically is like the Pilgrims, they were going into space, and because they were in space so long, something, they developed magic.
Yep.
And then there was a war between the Pilgrims and the rest of humanity, and the Pilgrims got wiped out, and you're a Pilgrim, you're half Pilgrim. I don't know how you didn't, you didn't learn this before. Pick up a goddamn book, Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't know what your fucking problem is. Your mom was a Pilgrim. Know your goddamn family history. And he just goes, oh, all right. It's like, oh, boot up the future internet, man. Like,
yeah, yeah, it's just awful. I can't even, there's nothing even to say about it. It's how bad it is. That's it.
And then in this movie that is called Wing Commander and is about space fighter jets, and we've only had, 2-3 space fighter jet scenes, one of which has been 30 seconds long. It's time to have a shootout with guns.
And of course they're machine guns on fighter jets.
Right, so we board the Kilrathi ship. I don't even remember why or how.
Yeah, oh, yeah, they're going to plant a bomb maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, something. And they get on, and a bunch of fucking cat people that are lizards somehow also have machine guns.
Right, and they need to get the and then they were searching around, and somehow they find the battery.
They find the car battery, but when they find it, like I said before, it wasn't like, oh my god, we found it. Secure this room, move out the car battery, blah blah blah. Freddie Prinze Jr. sort of is just like, hey. Like, isn't that the thing from the beginning of the movie? And somebody's like, I think it is. That was like an hour ago. I don't really remember. And then they just leave the room.
Yeah, they don't take it with them, do they?
No! He goes, we got it. And then when he says we got it, nobody actually, gets it.
Kind of an oversight, don't you think?
And then when that happens, I'm like, is that done?
Someone just messed their lineup and they forgot to edit the scene.
I thought that was the movie. I thought the movie was we needed that thing, and now we got it, and there's still 40 minutes left. What is where do we go from here? Turns out we go nowhere.
And then they come out of a wormhole and the Kilrathi ships go boom.
Basically, I mean, do you got somewhere to be? Jeez, you're trying to be like...
No, I don't know. This movie I just can't even talk about this movie, especially being such an avid fan of the video game series.
I know, but you're like, and then can we finish this podcast up in 15 minutes? Freddie Prinze Jr. finds out he's a space alien, shoot the aliens, boom, credits roll, and we're out. See you later.
I guess I'm just, no. Hey, we're 35 minutes in. What are we? It's normally 45. I don't know.
I'm just...
I know. So then the guy, we did forget, and then the actual wing commander, she gets in a wreck.
The titular wing commander.
So she gets in a wreck, and she's like, no, you have to warn Earth without me. I'm going to die. And then he's like, okay. And then they do all that stuff, and then she's like, now they're like, no, she's okay, and she's here on the ship. And she wakes up, and they're happily ever after, I believe.
Yeah, literally, it's a line of dialogue where it's like, is she okay? And some guy's like, yeah, she's fine.
And then he goes over, and it's like, she's in a coma, and they're like, she just leaned up against this pole here. Don't have her in, critical care or anything.
Yeah, right. She's supposed to have not been, she's ran out of air. Guess what? You run out of air, you're fucking dead.
Yeah, where is the...
Oh, hold on, my phone's going off.
Oh, no.
I just turned it off.
Where is the... And then it's like, where's the corpsman? Is there a corpsman on this ship?
No. All we got is a bunch of Navy captains, and all they do is fly planes. I'm the way they set this up, it's very a Navy movie.
Yes, very much.
And it's so the ship is supposed to be huge, and like most naval ships, it's basically a tiny city in this ship.
Yes.
But all we see is the mess hall, which isn't a cafeteria. It's just a room with 4 metal tables in it, and everybody's just drinking space whiskey.
So apparently they haven't upgraded the mess hall from current day ships. And then their rooms, which are too big. By the way, that would never happen.
I was gonna say their rooms are. Everybody's got a king size bed.
Yeah, that's not happening. The captain's the only one that gets a nice room.
And then it's the hangar, and that's everything.
That's the whole ship.
But the ship is supposed to be the size of the moon.
It's pretty true. Yeah, I noticed that too when I was watching it. Yeah, it's definitely, they try to go for the whole Navy thing. And again, the game does a wonderful job with that. You can go Again, I'm going off on the game, but you can go to like all the different levels of the ship, talk to all the crew members. It's very cool, very massive. Well, you know, but for back then, that was huge.
Oh, one thing that did happen that bothered me. Well, I don't even know if we've actually gotten to that point yet. Who gives a fuck? So, at one point when we're getting ready for one of the space battles, the inside of the human ship's like, we're going to launch this missile and do that thing and blah, blah, blah. And then they cut to the inside of the Kilrathi ship, and this is where you really see them. And this is when you really have a chance to be like, so are they cats? Or
can't really tell.
And because their language is basically like, brr, brr, meow, meow, brr, brr, meow, 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 brr, brr. And you're like, what?
Meow, 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 meow. I don't know.
And so, like I said, the humans are like, oh, we got to do this, that, the other thing. And they cut to the Kilrathi, and they're talking their alien Gleep Glop language, and there are subtitles underneath them.
But it's not in, like, you know, English.
But the subtitles aren't in English. They're in
Kilrathi.
They're in a made-up fucking movie language.
It's like, did anyone actually... And you're like, well, so what is their plan? Do they just... do we have a main antagonist in this story? No. That's a problem.
Are there people out there who know how to speak Kilrathi? No, because this isn't a real fucking thing. Why show me a scene and then specifically put subtitles in it that aren't in, not even English, a real fucking language? I was getting ready to lose my goddamn mind when that happened. That doesn't make any sense. Why do that?
I don't know, man.
Am I... Okay, Mr. Expert on the game. Is it like Klingon or like
they don't
Esperanto or something?
Kilrathi in the game.
They speak English? So this makes zero sense.
Yeah, because when you're fighting them, like you're in like the dog fights or whatever with them, they'll like... they talk to you. They'll be like, stupid human, you know. So that was the movie.
Fucking horrible.
Yeah, that was the movie. Like, come on, let's just get this moving here. Got somewhere to be here. No, just kidding.
I know you got a schedule to keep. I got to be out of here in under an hour. All right, we're 40 minutes in. Come on, let's go.
So I was looking, and I am looking forward to the post part of us discussing the movie, the whole what we thought of it and what we would recommend if you wanted to see a good movie.
We're there.
All right,
man.
let's do it.
I mean, like,
can I start?
Sure. Apparently, you have a doctor's appointment in 20 minutes.
I don't. I'm just messing around.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I've got. Let's see. So what I thought of the movie, I'm going to grade it for a sci-fi movie. I'd give it like 1.2 out of 5.
Yeah, it's bad. I mean, I don't know if we mentioned this. It has a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
The guy that plays Freddie Prinze Jr., who plays Lieutenant Blair, awful choice. The guy that plays Maverick, Maniac, also terrible choice. And the Admiral, also another main character in the film, horrible. And the Kilrathi, at what point did we actually give a crap about the Kilrathi? No, because there was no like, who's the Kilrathi commander? You know, did we learn anything about their pilots? No, which in the game
we couldn't because none of us speak Kilrathi, so we couldn't read the subtitles.
Now, if you want to go see, you, all 5 of you that might listen to the podcast, if you want to go see a movie like this or like the space fighter jet, not fighter jet, but see, we're on that because of this movie. The space fighter movie, I'm going to recommend to you The Last Starfighter, which is an amazing...
Damn it! I was just going to say that!
Sorry, that's my pick, so now you got to come up with another one.
What other space fighter movies
okay,
are there? So, you can't say Star Wars.
No, okay,
Damn it. Last Starfighter's a really good movie.
There's a TV show called Space Above and Beyond. I would recommend that.
If you're looking for humans fighting aliens, you know what? Watch Enemy Mine.
Babylon 5 is pretty good as well.
Babylon 5 is not pretty good.
I liked it.
You would, though. My suggestion would be Enemy Mine. That's a real good alien movie. Dennis Quaid and, you know the one I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Enemy Mine is good. Yeah, it's a 1985 movie.
Yeah, he's trapped on that planet with, like, a lizard man, and then the lizard man, like has, like, a baby, and then it's like Dennis Quaid is the dad, and he fights like a weird monster in a sand pit. It's really cool.
So I'm actually gonna take that back. So yeah, Last Starfighter, we both say that's awesome. Or you know what? just play the Wing Commander series. And if you don't need to play the first two to really understand the story, you play Wing Commander 3 and 4. You can get them by emulator, or if you have a PS1, you can still...
Is that why you wanted to skip to the end, just so you could talk about the video games more?
A little bit, actually.
So, the first game opens up.
All right. So first, you're in a, it's on DOSBox. You can get it on DOSBox. It's a DOS run game. So what happens?
Everybody get a pad and paper out. I'm going to tell you a couple of codes.
Get ready. First, it's going to be interesting. When you first start out, the character isn't named Blair. You get to name him. So that's...
Wow.
I'm just kidding. Yeah, but that is it. The games are phenomenal, and if you want to experience the Wing Commander universe, that's where you want to do it, not this movie. All right, go ahead. You're grading, and I know you already recommended. So, what are you going to grade on the movie?
I don't know if you can say is grading a word? I guess it is.
I am grading papers. Yes.
Okay, yeah. It's boring. Don't watch it. And watch it. I mean, like, there's not. I with Matt, the other guy I do the show with, we have a saying that we say to each other: the worst thing a movie can be is boring. A bad movie can be bad and still leave an impression, and a bad movie can be bad and still leave a good impression. A good movie obviously will leave a good one, and like an amazing movie makes you just want to like own it and watch it over and over again. But a boring movie, it's like wallpaper. The second you turn it off, it's like it never existed. It's wiped from your memory.
Which is what happened to me, and we had to like relive a lot of this stuff. And
I mean, I literally just watched it before we started this, and it was fucking atrociously boring and slow. It's set in space, and there's fucking cat lizard people, and there's space fighter jets, and you think, like, you say those things, and you're like, well, surely that's not boring. Maybe it's not the best thing in the world, but there's no way it's boring. No, it's boring. It's really fucking boring. Freddie Prinze Jr. also has a lot of, like, I don't know if you caught this, he has a lot of, like, hey, whoa, hey, you better watch it, bub.
It's very 90s.
Yeah, he's just like, whoa, and like at one point he's like, man, the ship held together. I love this baby. Like, who are you talking to? Is the game like that?
Well, yeah,
is there a guy going like, whoa?
When you kill, when you get a kill like in space, they're like, yeah, baby, something like that. They get excited.
I feel like that's, if I had to sum up the 90s in a sound, it would be, whoa!
Yeah, go watch some 90s commercials. You get the feel for that.
I mean, like, and this movie is very, like, it actually does a pretty decent job, because it's in space and it's 2065, whatever. Like, there's no, like, nobody's reading People magazine or anything. And there's not, like, any colors or anything that really make it a time period piece. Mm-hmm. The acting is very time period.
That's very true.
Like, the acting is very 90s. Like, Matthew Lillard is like I'm the party animal, yo. My hair is bleached blonde. Remember when that was cool? I'm just here to fuck chicks. Blah, blah, blah. And then Freddie Prinze Jr. is just like, and it's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. I keep saying that, actually. I'm sorry. That's the only thing I can describe.
You're actually not here. I just have a soundboard of Frank's where I just keep pressing
bad.
1.
Yeah, it's bad. All right. So anyway, so anything else for this one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
The typical thing. Well, just sit back while I stall and open up the thing. There it is. If you want to send us email, you can send us hate mail, questions, comments, concerns at moviehotdog@gmail.com. You can follow us on Twitter at moviehotdog. We have a Facebook page at This Movie Was a Hot Dog, and that's it. And you know what we say finally? Have you learned?
Actually, no. I probably never will. No, I'm going to write it all down. I got to put it up. So
you're going to write? It's the name of the goddamn podcast, Francis.
Oh, okay. I'm ready.
Okay, say the name of the podcast.
This Movie Was a Hot Dog?
There you go.